A simple, fresh dressing is the best way to add pizzazz to a humble salad.
Today we're making 7 salad dressings, plus 1 bonus if you stay till the end, all from scratch that only take a few minutes to mix up, and you can store the leftovers for future salads.
We're going to start with the easiest of all homemade salad dressings to make, and that's the basic apple cider vinaigrette. Whenever I'm in a hurry and just need a quick salad dressing, this is the one. We always mix up our dressings in a jar to keep things as simple as possible. Each of these dressings make from 6 to 8 ounces, a little bit more than you're going to need for one salad, so you can store the extra right in the jar. You just need half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons Dijon mustard, half teaspoon of honey or agave syrup if you like it sweeter, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then pop on the lid and give it a good shake. It doesn't get any easier than this one. Look at how velvety and wonderful that looks. It's perfect on any salad. This is your go-to for simple. Now you can change this up in dozens of ways. Always start with your olive oil and Dijon. That's your emulsifier. It makes it meld together perfectly. Then you can change up the acid component and add some herbs. Instead of apple cider vinegar, use balsamic vinegar, champagne vinegar, lemon juice, orange juice, whatever you want. You can also add herbs like basil, oregano, chives, rosemary. The options are limitless. Now let's get into something a little more complex. This Italian house dressing is a classic for a reason. It makes any salad feel a little fancy. Start with a wide mouth jar because you're gonna blend this one. Pour in half a cup of olive oil. Toss in 3 tablespoons of champagne vinegar, then add 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar. Next up, a tablespoon of ground mustard. The ground mustard gives more complexity and texture than Dijon. Add a teaspoon of agave or honey to mellow the acid, then toss in a small garlic clove, some chopped red bell pepper for sweetness, and about 4 teaspoons each of oregano, basil, chili flakes, and black pepper, plus about half a teaspoon of salt. The easiest way to blend this dressing is with a stick blender. Give it a good whirl until it's all mixed up. If you don't have one of these, you can always use a food processor or a mini chopper. Using 2 kinds of vinegar plus fresh garlic and herbs gives you layers of flavor. The mustard helps everything emulsify, and the red bell pepper gives it a subtle sweetness and thickness. I love this dressing, but the next dressing has been a favorite for over 100 years.
Now we're shifting gears to a creamier, more herby dressing that's always a hit and very simple to make. This green goddess dressing is filled with fresh herbs and adds a really unique and vibrant flavor to your salad. Start with a wide mouth jar because you're gonna blend it up. We've got half a cup of Greek yogurt and half a cup of mayo. You can use just a cup of mayo if you want, but the Greek yogurt cuts some of that fat. This is a great way to use up any fresh herbs you have. I'm adding about 10 basil leaves, 2 tablespoons of chives, tarragon, and green onions. They don't have to be all chopped up. Now add 1 clove of garlic, 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. Just give it a whirl until it's nice and smooth. You could use a blender or a food processor, or even cut the herbs by hand and just stir it in with a spoon if you like. But blending does give it that vibrant green color. This salad dressing was invented in San Francisco in the early 1900s, and it's still so popular today. Using all these fresh herbs gives you layers of flavor. On a salad, it gives a vibrant, tangy, aromatic profile that goes so good with crunchy, sturdy greens. Next up is one of my absolutely favorite dressings. Let's see if you agree.
Nothing beats a delicious Caesar salad with dressing that's bold, rich, and tangy. Add 3/4 cup mayonnaise, which is our shortcut rather than using egg yolk. It's safer and easier. Add 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, a clove of minced garlic, a teaspoon of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons Worcestershire sauce, and a teaspoon of anchovy paste. Come on, just do it. 2 tablespoons finely shredded Parmesan, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of water to thin it out a little. There's no blender needed here, just shake it up until it's smooth and creamy. I know you're gonna wanna skip the anchovies, but the restaurant doesn't, and you love that version, right? So give it a try. It's really important for the authentic flavor of this dressing. The anchovy is your umami bomb, and the Dijon and lemon brings the tang. It's a bold dressing that makes us all terminally addicted to Caesar salads. I love this dressing because it's so flavorful and bold. I could eat this salad every day. I love tacos too though, and the next dressing is pure magic on a taco salad.
Guess I'm mixing up all the herby ones today. This one is just as tasty as Green Goddess and just as easy to make. This cilantro lime dressing is a citrusy, herby delight that is the perfect match for a taco salad, Tex-Mex salad, or a light chicken salad. Start with a wide mouth jar because you're going to use the stick blender again. Combine 4 tablespoons of lime juice, the zest from 1 lime, a small handful of cilantro, 1 clove of garlic, half a teaspoon of honey, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and black pepper. Now we're going to blend it up with the immersion blender. Once it's smooth, keep blending and drizzle in half a cup of olive oil. It turns into a gorgeous, slightly creamy green dressing. Cilantro and lime are a power couple, fresh, citrusy, and perfect together. The honey rounds out the acid and the cumin adds an earthiness that ties it all together. Blending it gives it a silky texture that clings beautifully to the greens. This one really goes best with a taco salad or a grain bowl, anything with beans and corn. This is an everything dressing you'll want to keep on hand for all those times you need a tangy sauce to boost flavor.
This one's a crowd pleaser for sure. This homemade honey mustard dressing is like magic. Whenever I have it on hand, I eat tons of salads just to taste its sweet, tangy flavor. If I'm out of lettuce, I use it as a dipping sauce until it's all used up. Start with half a cup of mayo in your jar. This is your creamy base. Then add 2 tablespoons of prepared yellow mustard. Yep, the regular stuff. It brings that classic tang and punch. Next, add 2 tablespoons of honey. This balances the sharpness of the mustard with a mellow sweetness. Finally, add in about a tablespoon of lemon juice for some brightness. Then pop on the lid and give it a good shake. Look at how creamy and wonderful that looks. The mayo softens the bite of the mustard, the honey adds depth, and the lemon keeps it from being too heavy. This is amazing on crispy chicken salads. Also, don't forget how great it is as a dipping sauce for fries and nuggets. If you like crunchy cabbage salads, you're gonna wanna make gallons of the next dressing.
If you've ever had a crunchy Asian-style salad and thought, what is this amazing dressing? It was probably something like this. Sesame ginger is rich, nutty, and packed with bold, fresh flavors. Start with 3 tablespoons of tahini in a wide-mouth jar. This is ground sesame paste. It's creamy, nutty, and it gives our dressing body. Next, add 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. It's milder than white vinegar, so it brings tang without overpowering. Add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce for saltiness and depth, and 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. The toasted oil is super fragrant, and just that little bit adds so much flavor. Then pour in 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil and 1 to 2 tablespoons of water to thin it out. You're going to want to finish it off with 2 teaspoons of grated ginger. You can use a microplaner or just a fine grater. Now we're just going to blend it up with the immersion blender until smooth and creamy and gorgeous. You want everything fully incorporated and the tahini silky. Tahini and sesame oil give you richness, while the ginger and vinegar add freshness and bite. Soy sauce brings the umami. It's a flavor bomb in a jar. Hey, don't go yet. I've got one more bonus dressing for you. We're entering sacred territory here. Ranch is the dressing in this country. I definitely don't want to disturb your ranch comfort zone. Maybe you like the bottled stuff, or you always have the powdered mix on hand. But our homemade version is creamy, herby, and tastes so fresh and familiar. I think you're gonna love it if you give it a try. Start with half a cup of mayonnaise and a half a cup of sour cream in a jar. Add 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar for that signature zip. Then toss in the flavor makers. 1 teaspoon of minced chives, 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon dried dill, plus salt and pepper to taste. Shake it all up. By the way, this is a good time to check the thickness. If it's a bit too thick to pour, add a splash of milk and shake it again. The combo of dried herbs and powders makes this super easy to throw together anytime, and the vinegar keeps it from being too heavy. This homemade ranch dressing goes best with a classic wedge salad or a big old chopped veggie salad. It's also great as a dip for fries or pizza crust. Don't lie, you've done it.
These are all super easy to make and way better than store-bought dressing. Plus, you can customize them to your own taste, so go wild.
Now you need some great salad recipes to try all these on. Watch this video with 4 of our favorite salads.